An unjust scale is an abomination to the Lord. If you look around America right now, you see a lot of unjust scales in our justice system. But not only in our justice system, but God's pointing it out in our education system. Our teaching of the circle and triangle needs reform. All it is confusion and deception mixed with half-truths. That's why I formed a nonprofit organization, Camp Mahanaim, to spread the truth about God's circle and triangle and to bring people to the Lord, to open their eyes to see the one true God. You can be a part of that. I need you to be a part of that. But I can't do it without you. This should be on the front page of every news outlet. So please do your part. If you love the Lord, if you love truth, spread this message. Our children get taught one circle in school. It's the 1-inch radius, 2-inch diameter circle. It's called the unit circle, and they get half the circle. This is what a 75-degree right triangle looks like to them. They get half the picture inside of the circle. But this is the full picture of the circle. God created the triangle inside the circle with common sense. If you see here, God went up for the 75-degree triangle. He went straight down through the 75-degree portion. And a 75-degree right triangle, the other angle is 15 degrees. And once at the bottom, you look, he went through the 15-degree portion this way. Then the hypotenuse is your diameter, and it goes straight through the middle. This is what they get taught the 45-degree triangle looks like on the unit circle. But the full picture and the real story is it goes straight down through the 45, then straight through the 45 on the other portion of the circle. If you look at it from 0 to 90 this way, the circle is symmetrical and mirrors itself. So you could say from the bottom it's 0 to 90 on this side. The 60-degree right triangle, God went straight through the 60-degree strip and then through the 30-degree portion. Then straight back through the middle with the diameter, which is the hypotenuse. What you're looking at is measurements from the 3.6-inch circle. It's the circle that our children don't get taught because they get taught that 360 degrees is just a number that people liked a long time ago and has no relevance. What you are looking at now is my homemade triangle kit. And God made it as simple as just like ordering a pizza. The circumference is just a collection of all the right triangles. Say we want to make a right triangle. The bottom corner is always 90 degrees. Then you have two others that add up to be 90. So we'll take a 90, 75, 15. We'll take the 90-degree strip, the 75-degree strip, and the 15-degree strip. As you can see, those three strips form a 75-degree triangle. This is your 75-degree angle, your 15-degree angle, and your 90-degree angle. The circumference is made from the abundance of right triangles, but every triangle comes from within a circle. If we wanted to do a 105-degree triangle with other angles 45 degrees and 30 degrees, we would pull the 105 strip, the 45-degree strip, and the 30-degree strip. As you can see, this is your 105-degree corner, your 45-degree corner, and your 30-degree corner. I believe this is the best teaching tool ever created. What you're looking at on the left is the 30-degree right triangle inside the circle, and it goes through the 30-degree strip and then through the 60-degree strip, back through the middle with the diameter, the hypotenuse. And this is the 3.6-inch circle's measurements. Okay, and the reason they can't teach the 3.6-inch circumference circle is because they don't get a base 1 circle. All right, they teach the base 1 diameter and the base 1 radius, but they can't teach the base 1
Adjacent.
hypotenuse because their pi, they've changed it just a little. The equilateral triangle inside the circle is the scale for the circles. Okay, the 3.6 inch circle should be taught with the 1 inch radius circle. They go hand in hand. So the scale for the circle, the height inside of the triangle, the equilateral triangle, multiplied by 1/3 of the circle's circumference divided by pi will equal your radius squared. So there's 2 different ways to get your circumference. You can take your diameter and multiply it by pi, or you could take your 60-degree length, which is the adjacent, and multiply it by 3.6, because 1 times 3.6 is 3.6. And true pi, which is the square root of 9.72, which is 3.1176914,536, times 1.1547005384 will equal 3.6. And don't be scared of big numbers. God didn't use a bunch of confusing numbers. What these are the square roots. This radius is the square root of 0.3 repeating. This diameter is the square root of 1.3 repeating. And right down here in the bottom corner, if you look, this is a 120-degree back angle. And this is 120 degrees of the circle. Notice that it's 60 degrees facing left, then the circle takes right facing 60 degrees. And by the time it gets halfway, the circle has turned 60 degrees, and now these 2 lines are equal, facing the exact same direction. Then 60 more degrees, it is back level. So these 2 measurements must agree. That's why we can say there is 12 inches in 1 foot, because this is a 1 to 1.2 ratio. What you're looking at is the 4-inch circumference circle. So the 60-degree strip, this measurement is the length to 100 degrees on your circle. So if we divide this measurement by 100, it will let us know where each degree hits on the circle. So if we take the diameter and multiply it by pi, you'll get 4. And if you take 1 point repeating 1 and multiply it by 3.6, you get 4. And the reason pi can solve the circle and triangle is because, like we said, the circumference is just a collection of all the right triangles. And pi is the number that connects the 3.6 inch hypotenuse to the 1.8 inch adjacent.